It's one of those short winter evenings where the sun is really low in the sky. You can just see it between the trees there, and then the leaves are all gone off the trees, and I'm out in my HOKA Cliftons. This run will take me up to 485 kilometers so far this year in these shoes, and I'm doing a review of these shoes. I have been wearing the HOKA Clifton 7 for the last 500 kilometers of running, give or take a couple of kilometers here and there with the Asics Noosa when I was training for that Ironman triathlon 70.3. Anyway, today I'm going to do a quick review on what I find with the HOKA Clifton 7 and why I think it's the best long distance or easy pace running shoe. I've been wearing HOKA Cliftons for the last 5 years. Previous to that I was always wearing Asics shoes, and just up until then I was getting a lot of just little niggles here and there with my foot and my calf, and I switched to the HOKA after hearing about them on the Rich Roll podcast. He was doing a talk with Dean Carnazes after Dean had run the Badwater ultra marathon, and they were speaking about these HOKA shoes, and just their explanation just drew my attention, and I straight away googled them and saw them and thought, I don't think I'll ever be able to run one of those. And it turns out this is my favourite running shoe that I've ever run in and possibly ever will run in. So just to start off with, the engineered mesh across the front and in the upper of the shoe is it's very durable. It's super light. These shoes look heavy when you see them in a picture, but when you wear them or when you hold them, they're super light. And I think it's mainly down to this engineered synthetic mesh that they have across the front. So far I've done 500 kilometers in these bad boys, and you can just see there at the front, the mesh is almost still perfect. There's no rips, there's no tears. I have a pair that I was wearing before these, so these are just my old HOKA Clifton 5s, and you can just see at the front there's a little bit of wear on the front of the mesh on those ones, and just in there. These have about 1,200 kilometers in them so far, and I just keep them. I leave them in my clinic. If I ever forget my shoes, I just have them there. Moving on into the midsole, nice big thick clump of EVA midsole, which is perfect for me. I'm very heavy wearing in my shoes. I need a good durable shoe, but like I said, something light is always good as well. If I wear just a lightweight shoe that's not very durable, 300 or 400 kilometers, and I'll put my foot through the side of it usually. So this big clump of EVA really suits my heel strike. If you look at this video coming, just watch where my heel hits the ground. I'm a massive heel striker, and my heel hits the ground, and then the midsole follows. Because I'm such a big heel striker and I favour coming down on that left side, this is the right shoe. You can just see the back, the rubber there is still intact, and on the left you can see I've worn out the rubber already, so you can just compare them there. So you can just see all along here that left side is just totally worn away, but still tons of mileage left in these. I'll definitely get at least another 500 kilometers of running in these. You can see the old ones here. I've done the exact same thing with the left sole. So you can see that left one there, the rubber's all gone, the right is still there. But like I said, these are still super comfortable. I don't feel them when I'm running. When I run in those, they don't cause me any foot pain, heel pain, knee pain. Everything seems pretty good because, like I said, that midsole has that big clunk of EVA in it, and that's just helping me get through those long runs or medium easy pace runs. Moving along to just the outsole. Okay, so going from the midsole out to the outsole, you can see just in this is the good or not so worn down. There is a minimal amount of rubber. The EVA then is quite approachable there as it reaches the ground, but the rubber at the front seems to last me long because, like I said, I'm that big heel striker. But across the back, like I said, once the rubber's gone, there's still quite a lot. I probably think that I'm about halfway through my mileage in the shoes once that rubber has gone. Because the shoe is so wide, and you can see the rubber comes right across the front of that shoe, because it's so wide, that gives me really good traction. You can see the midsole as well is very wide. Some other shoes, they narrow it in here in the front. I like the real wide shoe. I have a wide foot, and when my foot hits the ground, as you saw in that video, there's a big impact for me. So that means everything is splaying out. All those metatarsal joints are splaying out, and I need something that will really grip the ground or traction the ground, and these shoes just seem to be perfect for me. It's probably why I love them so much, because they're so wide, and because that midsole comes right across. It's nearly as wide as the heel and almost as wide as the forefoot. that gives me good ground contact time, but I don't think I've ever slipped running in those shoes. And I've running on wet tarmac, and particularly in this time of year where there's loose leaves around the ground, and yeah, sometimes you have to jump up on the grass. The grass can be wet and slippy with mud. But any time I've done it in those, I don't think I've ever remember slipping. I've certainly never fell wearing a pair of Cliftons. So overall, the shoe is just, like I said, it's my favourite shoe of all time. I bought this for €140, which to me is a steal. It's probably slightly expensive for your typical shoe that you're going to do just your long runs in. You're not going to do any racing in these shoes per se, because running, you know, trying to get a fast time in these, I just have far better shoes that would do that. But yeah, they are a little bit expensive for those long runs or just for those easy runs. But what you add in your expense on getting into durability, so these shoes will last me twice as long as some of the other shoes that you would think about for doing the same sort of job. So overall, this shoe is amazing. I think anybody who's out there who is a consistent runner and who's doing lots of kind of low end to medium pace intensity running, the HOKA Clifton, if you haven't tried them, you certainly should. There is one caveat I would say about them, is that the Clifton, or the HOKA shoes in general, are the only shoes that I buy in 9.5 UK size. All the shoes I buy, whether they're Nike, or I only ever wear Nike for kind of retro shoes. I don't ever run in Nike shoes. But Nike shoes, Asics, Adidas, Brooks, Saucony, New Balance, I always get a UK 9. And the first pair of Hokas I bought were a UK 9, and they were just too tight. I did the Manchester Marathon in them and my feet were blue, I think, when I finished, because they were just half a size too short. So yes, if you're going to try out the Hokas, my recommendation is not to get them online, your first pair for certain, because you want to get into the shop and make sure that you either need the size you have, or else get a half a size bigger. Otherwise you could end up like me with blue feet at the end of a marathon. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review, guys. Any thoughts, you can leave them in the comments below, and if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. That's it for the HOKA Clifton 7 shoe review. I hope you got something from this. I hope you get that. I love these shoes. Just finished up 10 kilometers, average pace 5:05 per kilometer. Conversational pace, felt good. Training's going well. Consistency is on the up. Take care, guys. Run far, run fast, but most of all, run sensible.